Diaz Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up. Bye up. In a menudo style direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. Thank you. I'm very humbled. So, what a crazy weekend and week we had on YouTube, right? But in a real direct fashion, it's time to move on. I had my fun, man. They had their fun. Everyone has their fun. Shit gets old after a while, man. Shit gets very old. And the type of man I am, it's all about progression. It's all about busting your knocks, doing your thing, and then pushing, right? If you sit there too long, you're going to get caught. You're going to catch yourself up. That's how that goes, man. I think everyone understands in the YouTube world, it's similar to the streets back in the days. Getting your money, you got to get in and get the fuck on. So I'm going to do that, man. And just because it's the most respectful thing to do is nothing's going to happen anyways. So it's time to go. Now, and I think we all know what I'm referring to, all that bullshit. So now, let's talk about Little Eddie. Rest in peace. Little Smokey. Over the last week, 6 individuals were charged with his slaying, with his murder, right? That happened in the Merced County jail. Now, again, this is an ongoing investigation, an ongoing case, so there's details I will not give. Because at the end of the day, it's not my place to talk about the intricate details. But I can tell you what they said in the newspaper. You know, they think they have it all figured out. They went into such detail in the newspaper concerning this murder and how it exactly went down, that only one or two things could have happened. Either the camera system that they have going picked up every movement of the murder, but these details were so intricate that someone probably already flipped. I'm just going to be real. Someone probably already said this is exactly what happened, how it went down, why it went down, and all that. The who's, why's, the where, the 5 W's, right? So they know who the victim is. We all know who the victim is by now in this case, which was little Edward Ramos, man. So fucking unfortunate. Like I said, you guys see him on the picture. This is not the way I see little Eddie. This is not the way I remember him. I remember him as a little kid, right? Running around with his mom and his dad, then pushing a stroller, going to the store with his sisters and his little brothers. And that's how I'm always going to remember him, man. I'm always going to have love for him because I got a lot of respect for his father and his mother. And that's it. That's that, right? This person, I didn't know this person. You know, I understood this person, though, because I was once this person. You know, I once was involved in gangs at a very high level. I once was part of the circle, the inner circle. And I was with all the shenanigans and all the smoke. And I didn't care. I did individualism and homeboy favoritism and everything. And I've been to a lot of places, right? And I'm not making this spill about myself, but you're going to see how I get down with it, right? I've been to a lot of places, but the Merced County jail stands out to me as one of the most treacherous and dangerous places. It's just like a lot of autos from Los, right? They could talk about Pelican Bay, they could talk about High Desert, but they'll always say the LA County jail was probably the most dangerous situation they've ever been in their life. County jails are no joke, man. County jails are a lot of people. There's a lot of people going in and out. There's a lot of dope. There's a lot of things, you know, being entered into the facilities. There's a lot of people that are coming from the streets on a good one. They got that street mentality. They forgot how it was to be locked up, or they've never been incarcerated and locked up, so they don't know. So you got a lot of shit going on. You got people that are new booties, which is what we call fish or new booties. Some of that, they're a first termer, they barely come in, and maybe they're facing a lot of time, so they don't know how to react. They're asking a lot of questions. And one thing about the county is when you're asking too many fucking questions, motherfuckers don't want to give you too many answers. They ain't trying to hear what you're going through. Hey, homie, I got caught with an ounce. What do you think? What do you think? You think they're gonna give me fucking a drug court? You think they're... Listen, bro, I think I'm gonna give you a fucking kick in your ass. That's what I think. Motherfucker, I'm facing 99 years. Get away from me, right? Then you got the depressed ones that are going in there that are facing 100 years and they're all fucked up. Baba's coming out of their mouth. They got them all peeled out because they don't know what's going to happen with them? And then, you know, there might be good homeless, so you got to deal with that. And then you got the little eager youngsters that are coming in trying to kill everything. Let me kill something. Let me kill something. Let me hold something, right? They, you know, they want all the pieces. Here, put that in your pocket, right? Literally, Wes. And then you got the homies that are seasoned, that know, that are in and out of county jail. And you always got that one OG that just stays there. Every time you go, he's there. The motherfucker's the tier tender. He works in the fucking, in the kitchen. You know what I mean? You know that one. Gets the free reign of the whole county jail. It's usually a brother or something because, you know, ain't no one tripping off them. Like, goddamn OG, are you going to go home? Motherfucker, I am home on Pyro. Right? All right, cool. That's just how that is, right? So the county jail is a different type of world, even more different so than prison. So the Merced County jail is probably the most dangerous place I've ever been for Norteños, even Southsiders as well. A lot of bodies come out of that place. A lot of people get killed. Merced has always been structured up and function at a very high level. And meaning kind of like a lightweight little penitentiary, little prison. It's very, very small. But I gave you guys the layout of the 8-man cells. So anyways, this article that I read about these 6 guys being charged in Little Eddie's murder, they're all going to be charged because they were all his cellmates. Okay? It doesn't mean one did more than the other. They're all going to be charged. And I told you guys, they're 8-man cells. So they must have been 1 man short. They had an open bunk. These are 8-man cells. And the way they described it in the newspaper, and I'm not going to go into the details of the newspaper because they're just saying shit. And that's putting too much on. They're like talking about who the hitters were, how they did it. You know, they took them in over here and over there. And it's just like, that's all alleged. Okay? Saying, oh, this is the exact way it went down. No. These guys have their day in court. Let them get their day in court. Do I condone what they did to a family friend? No, of course not. But he was, at the end of the day, involved in that life. It fucking sucks, and it's unfortunate that he had to come to his demise alone. And that's what sucks, that he was alone. There was nobody there, I'm sure, with any type of love for him at all. Cold part is, probably a year prior, he'd have been the man in that cell security, running that shit. It's ridiculous, huh? But because they're 8-man cells, you know, everyone that's locked into that cell, there's no getting out. They're all going to be charged because if there's a body there and they can't prove exactly who did it, they're going to charge everyone. Now, I noticed that when these 6 individuals, and this is an active Norteño block, so every one of these individuals that they charged with his murder are what they're going to consider active Norteños, right? And they're going to say it was at the benefit of a gang, and they're going to get them with gang enhancements. And ultimately, other than whoever tells, because someone's going to tell, you know, stop it. Someone's going to tell. In a murder case, when you're facing all day, motherfuckers is going to flip, right? Other than the actual hitters or hitter, everyone else is going to get probably less time. They're going to get conspiracies and this and that. But the persons who actually did the fucking actual pegada are going to catch a long minute, right? And that's it. What happens after that? Nothing. More Mexicans locked up forever. More Mexicans dead, right? Over what? Gang affiliation. What motherfuckers think looks cool. We had to handle our business, homie. You handled your business, but it ain't your business. See, none of that business belongs to us. When we're running around talking about, hey, we got to handle our business, it's not our business. It's other people's business, and we're handling it for them, unfortunately, right? Again, no poison in the game. This is part of the game. When you play it, you got to play it all the way, right? You know, because there's going to be dudes on YouTube and dudes that, oh, them are real ones, man. They handled it. Real ones, why? It doesn't take a lot to put metal inside someone, to strangle them or stab them. That's easy. That's the easy part. Psychologically is the hard part. Dealing with it. The nightmares. See, unless you've ever taken a life, you'll never understand how it haunts you. I'm haunted every day. You know? It's not an easy thing to do, and it's not an easy thing to live with. And I believe these guys are going to regret it somewhere in the future. Maybe not now. Maybe they're eager beavers. Maybe right now it's like, yeah, we did that, homie. We did that. Yeah, well, we did a lot of time too behind that. There's going to be a lot of your homeboys that flip. 6 guys getting locked up for this shit. They're already locked up on various other charges. So now what happens is they still got that time and that to deal with. And now they got a murder charge while incarcerated. That doesn't work out for them. Their points are going to be dangerously high. 180 yards, level 4 yards. These guys are all going to the high deserts, the Salinas Valleys, the Pleasant Valleys. All these places they're going. And now it's rock and roll gangster. Now what you just did in the county doesn't count. Now the only thing that counts is your EPRD, your early projected release date. And it ain't early, right? So now you go in there with a whole lot more time. And since it's known that you're down to do pegadas, well here, toma, there's another fucking piece. Do another one, Holmes. You're down, right? Lil Eddie didn't deserve that shit, bro. Look, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Oh, he's a snitch. No, he wasn't. Right? I know that for a fact. I know that for a motherfucking goddamn fact, right? But to say that he deserves it, you know, who deserves getting stabbed by men all alone? Because they think he did something. Not because they know, but because they think. It's a fucking sad existence and a sad life. I'm glad I got away from it, right? I'm not here to promote dropping out. I'm not here to promote going non-active. I'm not here to promote anything other than be good men and love your peoples. Show support for your raza, for blacks, for whites, for everything, man, for humans, right? But to see this kid, you know, live the lifestyle that he lived for it to end tragically at 26, my heart breaking for that guy, man. Not only because I knew him personally and all that, but I just imagine all the different homies. When I say homies, norteños, Southsiders, everybody, man, just think about it. Everything you strive for, everything you love. I know Lil Eddie. I know why he got involved in the gangs. It's all he's seen, but he also wanted to be a part of that crowd. Like it was a beautiful thing to him. It's like that. It's like my primo Ricky Whoopin. He loves the norteño cause, right? His whole thing is I'll ride with the homies forever to the end, no matter what. I'm with them. I'm with the program, right? Until the program's not with you anymore. You know, I was going to do a video, man. I've been talking to Dubs about it. He was going to do one likewise, pretty much similar, right? And I said the video went like this. You could do 1,000 things right? Within the gang life. 1,000 things right. You could, man, be on that yard getting bread. You could be on that yard moving wet. You could be moving smooth with a purpose. You could be doing everything right within the cause. 1,000 good things. Do one good thing and you're done. Or one bad thing, excuse me. Done. Done dilly. Just one. 1,000 good in support of your cause or whatever. But do one bad thing. And you're the biggest piece of shit there is in the world. You know, 1,001 odds, bro. It's 1 in 1,000. It's like that. You know, you don't know how many times that I've been involved in certain things. I ain't gonna speak into too much detail, right? But I've been involved in certain things where the homie that was in question, right? That was under the microscope, that was on freeze. It ended up that he didn't even do the shit. Or he wasn't even there. He was telling the truth. And he still got maxed out. Bad things still happened to him. And guess what we said when we found out later on in life? You know what I mean? Hey, it was a bad call, bro. The homie was good. And I didn't make that call. But it was made, right? Damn, that was a good homie and shit, bro. Now he's on the other side fucking. He's a Northern Rder now. He's going crazy over there, right? He's over there with J-Hand fucking stabbing everything, right? Crazy shit. Shout out to Renegade Media. I seen his video he did on this exact story. It was a good video, you know? But trip, right? So fucking and you know what the homies say? Fuck it, casualty of war, homes. Shit happens, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, shoot a sopa. You know what I mean? Straight up. No one gives a fuck or cares. But then when you have to go back to yourself, reflect and think on it, you're like, wow. Right? So, to double back, because you know I get sidetracked and start fucking reminiscing and looking off in the sky because I lived that life, right? And when you live that life, you understand and you know. But I lived that life. In this case, it's a little bit more personal because I lived it all the way to the point where I probably was in that same cell that little Eddie died in. I'm probably 100% for sure I was in that same cell because I was in every cell on the block, right? So I was in that cell before, the exact cell. And I know when they talked about in the newspaper where the bathroom area was and the shower area and the mirrors. And I've been a part of all that. You know, I know how to function on that block. And that's a cold block. That block is haunted by the souls of men that have bled on that concrete. And there's been a lot of it. You know, a lot of it. There's no escape. You know, it's not like your typical county jail. You know, they got these new school county jails where you go, they have a day room. Everyone goes out there. They're like a 270 design, you know, everyone can see the day room. And it's none of that. It's old Wild Wild West shit. It's old Merced old school shit. It's so Lucky pulling up to G Street doing burpee shit. That's right. Shout out to Lucky from Hoodstocks. He pulled up to my city, man, Merced, and he did some burpees in the parking lot of Save More Market right there by East Campus on the corner of 21st and G Street. That vato did that, man, in a respectful manner. I see that, man. That's right. Hey, Lucky is showing everyone that you can pull up anywhere, man. We have the freedoms to go wherever the fuck we want. You know, is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Is it clowning? No, it isn't. The vato was in town. Shit, if I'd have seen Lucky, if I was in Merced, I'd have seen Lucky, I'd have been like, shit, Hoodstocks, right? What's up, fool, right? That's just what it is, man. All this fucking gangbang and all that, man. Where was everyone at? Where did you go? Where'd you go? No one's out there in the streets like that gangbanging anymore, man. Everyone's too busy making power moves wearing shower shoes. Anyways, back to the spiel, right? Shout out to Lucky. Where was I at with this shit, right? I was talking about the county jail. It's Wild Wild West. It's old school, right? This county jail, man, once you're locked in that cell, you are in that cell with the camaradas, the homies, the whatever you call them, right? You're there with them. And if you are in bad standings or you got a blemish on your record, a blip, 1 out of that 1,000, they gonna carve you up real nice. And this was a situation where little Eddie, right? He was doing his thing on the streets, whatever he was involved in, whether it was drugs or that, man, that's part of that life, man. There's some people that have addictive behaviors and whatever. I don't knock the little homie for smoking a little something. That, you know, that it is what it is. That's his business, right? How he's living. I know the family he comes from, man. I know he comes from not having much. You know, I didn't have much either, so you know, I don't hate that, man. He had his mom and his dad, though. That's what he did have. They had his back to the fullest. I know that, right? So, you know, especially his dad. But this cat right here, man, got a little bit of shine and a little bit of limelight shed on him because of that situation that went on with him and that Merced police officer. It seems like ever since that day that chick was busted in an abandoned house with him and it got put on social media and it became, you know, something that everybody was talking about, especially in the Merced area, right? That vato had a target on his back. It was obvious, you know? It was from that moment on I was hearing whispers of, hey, they think he's a CI, he's working with that cop. He ain't working with that cop, he's fucking that cop. If anything, he was just doing him. But see, when you're in the lifestyle in the gang, if your name even gets brought up in any type of sticky situation like that, there are homies, right, that don't even want to hear it. They're just like, kill him. There are, you know, everyone has a different attitude when you're in the game. Some think they're too hard for the radio. There's some homeboys that are willing to listen and give you the benefit of the doubt because they truly believe in the cause. They truly believe in what the cause was established for, and that is for the betterment of the people and for social status of equality. And they believe that, right? That's why they don't indulge in drugs. That's why they don't indulge in gambling. That's why they don't indulge in the bullshit. And they're all about the gente and striving, right? No matter what. To kill is a cruel necessity. If one does not kill, how can one conquer? And if one does not conquer, what future is there for our people? That was definitely implemented right here. Then there are those, man, that are just willing to do anything to make themselves look good. And they are usually the ones that do the pegadas. They are usually the ones that take the initiative to fucking be on frontline status or get told to be on frontline status. And what happens at the end? They're the ones that tell. That's what happens. Because That looking cool ain't cool no more when there's no more homeboys around. They got you in the oil by yourself. When it's just you and your demons, they're going to be picking on you, right? So these 6 guys are charged, which having done time in Merced County Jail, it was a mandatory thing because they were in that cell when this murder occurred. Now, as far as giving exact names like they did in the newspaper, I'm not going to do that. Do I know of some of these individuals? I know a couple of them. Man. But remember, everyone is innocent until otherwise. You know, it's just an unfortunate situation where brown men on brown men, you know, people said, oh, he snitched. He had that coming. Why would little Ed, let me explain something to you. This is how I know he didn't. First of all, I know he didn't just because I know, right? And that's none of anyone's business. But besides that, you got to understand that when you get to the Merced County Jail, little Eddie was a kid. He was a youngster. I know the way his thinking was, right? He knew. This wasn't his first rodeo. This was about to be in Pelican Bay. He'd been around. He'd been to county jail several times, right? He knew how it was on the block. You know how it is on the block. If this Vato had told on anyone or had any smut on his name, he would have never went to the block. He'd have straight did the EBK and went to fucking, the other side immediately from the cop car. He wouldn't have went into the fucking block. Fuck no. They'll get you in the block, right? So by him going to the block, he didn't have nothing to worry about. When I say the block, that's the active Norteño pod, right? He wasn't tripping. He wasn't scared. He pulled up like, fuck it. And still got whacked, right? That shows you right there. You know, I remember we're in a situation, I've told the story, where there was a homeboy in question. He was in my cell. We was going to do fucking horrible things to him. Very horrible, right? I was willing to go do a penitentiary chance. I was going to the pen anyways. I was like, fuck it. I'll catch 30 more, right? I was with that shit. And this vault was in question. The powers that may be are telling me we're going to wait for this and that and that. And let's get it. I'm ready to go already, right? Me and the homie. In probably the same cell that little Eddie died in. It's a trip, right? And this vault goes to medical. And then the homies holler down and they say, hey, if he was able to wiggle and just go to medical. It wasn't like he has to go to medical. They just called him out for a blood draw or whatever, right? They say, hey, because we were real skeptical about him. I was in his favor, but willing to kill him too at the same time. It was crazy, right? And this was years ago. So don't get me for a conspiracy because it's past the statute of limitations. So anyways, this guy, he goes to medical and the homie hollers down, hey, if the Vato's gone, he was able to wiggle. Saved us time. If he comes back, he's cleared. That means he's good because he ain't stupid enough to come back because he felt the feeling. He was feeling it. He came back. I was happy. A little emotional because I ain't gonna lie, I was trying to break a finger, but I was happy, right? So I know how it is, man. Little Eddie wouldn't have pulled up there, man, if he was guilty of anything. It's sad, but yes, man. 6 charged. Everyone in that cell was charged with it. Let's see who starts snitching first. Obviously, someone did because they know all the details, allegedly. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. Rest in peace to Lil Eddie. Fuck, man. Can't believe he's gone. It's a trip. The gun.